questions for Coach Coen?
And the way you start, is that the way you envision this offense being?
Yeah. And typically it's kind of the way we started last week. The first drive of the game, bang, bang, bang. Felt pretty good about the way things were going. Hit a little bit of a lull, obviously, in the second quarter. Felt like it lasted about an eternity until the defense gets that interception. We go down, score. Then we get the next drive, be able to go score. So, yeah, a little bit too much like this, unfortunately. And, frustrating, yes, but positive about the win.
So how comfortable is it to you to be able to play complimentary football, Dave?
It's huge. This is a team game. It's all about the team. One side, are we frustrated? Is it the standard? Yeah, but we are not going to be disappointed about winning on the road. That's not going to happen. And you go out and you score 45 points against a good team because the defense makes plays, the offense makes plays, and special teams makes plays. And we're not going to apologize for that.
Able to get Dane and Barry on going a little bit. How did you see them respond throughout the week and then obviously today?
They came to work. They came to work each week, each day during the week and practiced better. The details were better. You could see just the attention to details were there. And it showed up, and then it hit a little bit of a lull. But then Tavion Robinson stepped up on the one drive, and he gets a couple plays. And, it's every drive, every series is going to be different. It's not always going to be the same. We'd love it to all look like the first few drives. We'd love it to. But they coach, too. They play, too. And that's what, they aren't horrific. It's not like this is the worst team in the freaking country, right? They're a decent team, an SEC football team. And we went and beat them on the road.
Liam, there was a stretch there in the second half where the first down plays kind of successively negative. You were always facing 2nd and 10 or longer. How challenging does that make it when you're always behind the chain?
Pretty miserable, pretty tough. To overcome some of those second longs and have too many third and longs. It's the same thing we were preaching all week, but it obviously it didn't show in consistently throughout the day was early down success, early down efficiency, negative runs on 1st and 10. Well, man, I'm not going to run it again. If we go -2 on 1st and 10, I'm not going to run it again. And, that's got to be an emphasis for us to stop taking negative runs wherever it's happening, whether it's the play call, whether it's the execution up front, whether it's tight ends blocking, receivers blocking, running backs running. However it has to change, we got to go evaluate it, look at it, but we can't keep taking negative runs on 1st and 10. And that's something that's putting us behind the chains and ultimately making the game a lot harder for us.
To that point, was it, in a way, both maddening and very satisfying to have a drive where you had 3 penalties and still get into the end zone?
For sure.
Resilient?
That was what Coach Stoops kind of was trying to preach to us. Like after that drive, there were some serious frustrations on the offensive side of the ball on the headsets. I was frustrated. You're getting a little bit agitated with, guys, let's just execute, man. Right? We're just shooting ourselves directly in the foot. But then overcoming. So it is good. It is resilient. It is nice to see. And honestly, if we were clicking on all cylinders right now, is there anything more to coach? So at the end of the day, it's a good thing, but it's also something we got to get cleaned up, and we got to get cleaned up fast.
Let's do 2 more, okay?
When you had as many guys slipping and falling,
Yeah, it was crazy.
Did they say something to them?
I
How do
mean,
you get around?
I try not to in those moments because you're just like, oh my gosh, it's open. We fell down again. But I don't know, man. It's whether we're cutting off the wrong foot. I think that happened a few times where, like, as opposed to cutting off your outside foot, you cut off your inside foot and you end up slipping. That happened to me multiple times. But then I turn around and I'm watching those guys and they slipped too and fell too. So I don't know if it's something with the turf or whatever, but we got to play underneath ourselves. That's just like fundamentals and technique, right? Just playing underneath yourselves, not being in such a rush and such a chaos, right? Let's just play, just run, like you know how to do. That was a little frustrating.
Last one.
You had first game back coaching against an SEC team, and this was also the first time that UK has scored more than 30 in an SEC game since you were here in 2021. So I'll give you your flowers on that. There's a lot of pessimism going around.
Appreciate that.
But how good did it feel just to get back and how to win the press box and stuff, just getting back into SEC play?
It was great. I thought the guys really did have a great mindset coming into this game. I thought we had a really good week of practice. We were all excited about coming out here to go play. We were all excited about going on the road, honestly. We had been together at home for a few weeks, and then there's something about being at home, being on the road. It's a smaller group. You only got yourselves. You only got each other. And there's something about that. And I thought our guys really did prepare the right way. They came out with the right mindset and mentality. And it was an easy morning to come out flat. And we didn't come out flat. We came out ready to go. And ultimately, it just didn't sustain. But did we get it done? Yes, we did. So I appreciate your kudos.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, man.
Okay,
Thanks, guys.
so we are
I felt great. It felt great to close that chapter and finally, move on and now focus on something, much more important. And, that's just trying to get better every day with the guys, hone in on the details and try to execute and make sure we go out there and, play our game. I think all week it was a big hype up coming back here, but, now it's over. Now it's time to just lock in on, Florida.
What's your mentality going into the game? Were you excited, nervous for the homecoming?
Not really. I stay level-headed. Like I said throughout the week, it's not Ray Davis versus Vanderbilt. It's Kentucky versus Vanderbilt. As you can see on the scoreboard, Kentucky got the win. It wasn't Ray Davis that got the win. So, just about staying focused and staying poised. And I think the game showed today. I think it was slow for me in the beginning, but my teammates kind of kept me level-headed, and I was able to finish out the day pretty well.
Ray, as an offense, as you guys are being kind of inconsistent, how much does it help you with the defenses out there scoring and giving you short fields at times?
Yeah, I mean, it's a collective effort. It's a collective group effort from the defense. They're able to get us going and making some key stops and putting us in the right field position. And, then it's about us offensively doing what we got to do, try to keep them off the field as long as possible, trying to sustain drives and go out there and capitalize. And, sometimes the defense help us out. Sometimes we help out the defense. But it's just about staying in all one flow motion and then continuing to get the game going and everybody being on, the right type of time.
Right, obviously there was a fast start, but kind of an offensive lull a little bit, second, third quarters. What do you think explained that?
I really got no comment on that. I think, again, it's a small thing. It's a small details as a collective unit for us and as a group. We just have to hone in on what Coach Coen is preaching to us. You're going to face adversity. Things are going to come at you quick, but how are you going to handle it? Are we going to fold under pressure? We can go ahead and attack it head on, and I think you kind of see that throughout the week. Second half, we're able to attack it and go out there and play our game, but we need to do that all 4 quarters. We can't just assume that second half we're going to turn on and just be an electric team. It has to be all 4 quarters, and that's what our coach is going to continue to keep preaching to us, and we got to go out there and execute it.
Okay, last one for Ray.
When it comes to the run game, you guys have been able to pop some, but the consistency, I guess, has not been there as much as the coaches would like. From your standpoint, what are you seeing out there?
I mean, the good part is, you got to give credit to our O-line. When we're hitting, we're hitting. That's all up front to those guys. Coach Yen's the 5 guys up front and the guys who are backing them up. We wouldn't be able to have none of the yards without them, in the trenches getting to work. And then, us as running backs, the consistency thing would be us. We got to be able to see the right holes, got to be able to hit the right spots. I think today in the beginning, I kind of was just too happy I wasn't getting downhill. And then, as the second half, coach is just talking to me, just go in there and get those dirty runs. And so the consistency part has to fall on us as a running back unit. But, the good thing and the good praise and everybody talking about the good things has to go on the O-line. They've been dominant. They've been consistent. They've been creating holes for us. It's about us just having to hit them and see it. Not everything has to be 5, 10, 6, 7, 8 yards. It's okay to turn out those 2, 3 to 4 because then the big one eventually is going to come.
You have that kind of run for your second touchdown, 2, 3, 4 yards eventually into the end zone. Were you lobbying to keep getting the ball? You kept wanting just a couple more off to get in the end zone?
No. I think for us, we were just when we were right there down at the goal line, we were just trying to get fast paced. We felt that we had them. They were tired. They were backed up, and we were just kind of trying to be like, okay, fast paced, let's get it going. Whether whoever's throwing, whoever's scoring, whether it's Dev or me or anything going, we just in that moment we really thought we were going to go fastball just because we had them on their heels, but. Yeah, I didn't really necessarily care if I got the ball or not. I just wanted us to go out there and get the score and continue to go.
All right, thanks, Ray.
Thank you.
Liam, right here.
Yeah, we definitely started off on a good note. We emphasized that in practice all week, starting fast, just eliminating some critical errors early on, self-inflicted errors. And then, honestly, in the second half, I just have to be better. It's my job to operate the offense, and, there were some mistakes that I made out there that cannot happen. And, I just got to be a lot better.
It seems like there has been frustrations in each and every game. You get the win, though.
Yeah.
How good does it feel to know that those frustrations can happen and you can bounce back and be resilient?
Yeah, it just goes to show that we're not satisfied. It feels really good to sit here 4-0, but, when we turn on the film tomorrow, there's going to be so many plays that we wish we could have made, or mistakes starting with myself that I just got to eliminate. Just got to be a lot better. But there's a lot left out there. But walking away 4-0 is always a great feeling.
And then the weird aesthetic, the element of just the atmosphere here with all the construction going on. How important was it and great was it to get off to that fast start? And it didn't seem like it really had an effect on you guys.
No, I mean, when you walk out into the stadium and you see, a sea of blue as soon as you walk out, I mean, it kind of felt, like it did last week, being at home. So it was really cool to see the fans come out. Big Blue Nation is awesome. And, just being able to hear, the blue and white chants during the game, it was a really cool feeling. And, a good win to go in an SEC away game and start 1-0 in conference play.
From your past production and try to live up to it, your first one yourself?
Honestly, no. I mean, I take every play just 1-0. I game plan really hard each and every week. For me, I don't really try to look on past success or what's to come down the line. I try to be in the moment, be where my feet are at. But like I said, there's definitely plays out there I wish I could have gotten back. Definitely, some errors that I got to just take off the film.
Devin, you may have already been asked this, but the start of the game was finally the start that this team has been looking for, where you put the gas pedal down early.
Yeah, it was definitely a good start. I mean, it's really good to see that we emphasized that all week in practice, making sure that we're trying to put together a complete game. And, honestly, we didn't fully do that for 4 quarters. But, coming out the way that we did and, at an away game, at an SEC opponent, it was really good to see from our offense.
Devin, the offense did struggle. The defense put you guys in great situations.
Yeah, I mean, defense balled out. And, I mean, that's their standard, though, Those guys come off the field, and regardless of what happens on offense, they always tell us that they got our backs. To play for a team like that, to kind of have that camaraderie, all around, especially when the defense can pick up the offense and, vice versa, a lot of special things can happen.
Liam said, you would wish that it could go as it did the first few drives, the whole game, right? That's the thing. Yeah. It doesn't go that way. You guys found your composure offensively, like late in that third and the fourth. But, in those struggling periods, the second and third, what do you guys feel like you need to do to, shake out of those slumps really quick?
Yeah, I just think, not to be cliche, but just go one play at a time. Starting with myself, I got to be a lot better, not having, certain mistakes that will cost our offense. But, at the end of the day, it's not worried about the mistakes that you make, not worrying about a play that's to come, just kind of just focusing on the play that's at hand and the task that's at hand and, making the most out of it.
Devin, it seems like everything that you guys are going through offensively is fixable.
Yeah.
Is that maddening, or does that give you good hope?
Definitely good hope. We just got to fix it. That's the biggest thing, and we will. We definitely will. Guys are not satisfied, but at the same time, like Coach Stoops says, it's hard to win the SEC. So guys are appreciative for the win, but at the same time, there's so many plays that can be made out there, so many mistakes that we can learn from and erase. And like I said, it starts with me. I need to be a lot better. I need to operate a lot better, and just like I said, just go one play at a time.
In what way do you feel like you need to be better?
Just kind of my process of the snap, just making sure I have a very consistent process, making sure, I'm identifying the defense the right way, and, just the little things, footwork, mechanically, just taking the easy layups. So at the end of the day, it can all be fixed, but it's got to start in practice and in the film room.
Devin, how hard is it as an offense when you're always behind the chain on first down, which you guys often are? I mean, how hard is it to overcome those drives?
Yeah, it's definitely not ideal to start off like that, but, those are the kind of errors that I'm talking about, things that need to be taken off the film that, okay, there's so many instances where we start behind the chains, but look at how many positive outcomes we make out of it, but at the same time, we're hurting ourselves. So it's really just up to us. It comes down to that. Like I said, starting with myself, I need to be better. I need to operate better. But it's definitely fixable mistakes.
It's just a simple idea, too, that the playbook opens up a lot more, I would assume, when you're on second and manageable or short.
Yeah.
I mean,
it gets tough.
It changes things a little bit when it's long.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough sometimes, not only for us as players, but for Coach Coen, too. I mean, there's not many third and very, very long calls that you could have. So, we just got to get out of those situations. We just got to start, better, making sure that we're staying on track with our offense and, it'll only get better. We just got to learn from the film.
Devin, is it hard to throw from a depth perception standpoint when you're playing in a construction site?
No, not really. Not really. It definitely was different, something I've never done before, but honestly, in the moment, you don't even realize.
Was the actual playing surface a challenge today, though? I mean, you got half the offense fell down at least once today. You
No, I don't.
fell down once as well.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think that's ever an excuse.
Did you get stepped on that play?
Yes, I did.
Dane struggled a little bit this season. How great was it to connect with him on that touchdown?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, it's still early. It's definitely still early. Dane's a great player. He's an awesome weapon for us. He's going to continue to be an awesome weapon. And, for him to just go up and make a play, that's just what Dane does. So at the end of the day, it's up to me. It's up to, our offense as a whole to continue to just feed him and, just rally around all the guys that are making plays.
Going off that, Liam talked a little bit earlier about seeing better focus, better attention to detail from Dane and Barry on both this week in practice.
Yeah.
What did you notice from them throughout the week and how that translated to today?
Yeah, just their approach. Week to week, there's so many different things that you want to take off of film. And, this past week, those guys came in with the mindset of, today I'm going to attack today and get better today and only worry about today. And then the next day, they're going to reset that mindset and do the same thing. And, it was really cool to see that out of young guys because they're not looking, too far down the line for the next game. They were just focused on the next practice. So that was really cool to see out of them.
How useful